Natalie Harp is taking a big hit. Yes, we're talking about Natalie Harp, that blonde-haired, tall lady who looks like Ivana, maybe bleaches her hair, who has a lot of access to the president, is going to be taking a big hit, and it will not stop. All this crazy stuff that's coming out, we have to look into it because this is important. Number one, all those leaks about her are coming directly from the White House. So it doesn't make any difference what publication you read it in. Somebody is leaking stuff about her. And, the crazy letters all over the place. The printer lady, as they called her, she got into what? She got into the back or the trunk of a car because they didn't want her to go up front with Trump or something like that. She was sleeping in the women's locker room at Bedminster so she could be with him. Also, the fact that she is there late at night with him alone. Now, I know people are saying, oh, yeah, they're getting it on. No, they're probably not getting it on. Our buddy, our man, our president can't pop a rod. They're not porking. But the other bad part is that there is an assumption, there has been a little bit out there, and maybe more is going to be coming out, that she is a back channel to some of our adversaries to Trump. And if that's the case, that's why the security clearance is coming up so big. Now, everyone in the White House, this is a big thing. Everyone in the White House has spies. Everybody has spies. They have a trusted aide. That trusted aide has a trusted aide. They all have people underneath them. They're talking all the time. And of course, why are they doing this? Of course, this happens in the Congress. This happens in all big corporations, etc. Everyone has their spies. There's nothing new about this. But why does someone in the White House want to have the dirt on someone else? Well, one, if someone else in the White House is going to drop some dirt on them, they want to drop their dirt first. So they want to know what's going on. And all these aides, they all know each other. They go out drinking. They backstab each other. They talk. They could be good friends, all that stuff. So they need, the higher ups, they need to know what's going on. And they do not like what Natalie is doing because which is the third thing, is that Natalie has way too much access to the president, way too much access. Remember I said those late nights? She's there with him for hours at a time, coming up with some crazy True Social posts, But the big thing is, with her having too much time, they got to cut her down to size. They got to take her down and hopefully keep her down. Because remember, when you're losing FaceTime with Trump, you're losing not only the access, you're losing the input. You're losing the ability to contour your wishes, your needs for your constituents to be the last thing that Trump hears. And if he's not hearing it from you, you want to know and who is doing the last one. And we don't really know what she may or may not be saying to him. And this is killing those other people in the White House. And I'd just bring up the big 4 or 5. That would be Susie Wiles, press secretary, chief of staff, J.D. Vance, vice president, Marco Rubio, secretary of state, Scott Bessent, secretary of the Treasury, Stephen Miller, dickwad in chief, whatever he is. All right. And, the other thing, and this is the fourth thing, and this is it, Trump is losing control. Because all of this stuff is coming out. He has no say. He doesn't know how to shut it down. It's getting bigger than him. The rats are jumping the ship as people are leaving the White House. There'll be more leaving the White House as things come on. It will be more discombobulated, in disarray as ever. And of course, I know that all these stupid White House, media people have been saying this for years and years. Of course, a lot of that is probably true, but it's going to become really true right now. And it's going to get worse as we're getting closer and closer to the election. And we know that the election is going to be, a consensus on how well Trump has done his job. And it's been a terrible job, especially the lives lost. The lives that we have lost in the Middle East. That's going to get worse. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. Gas prices are going to go up. So we know what we have to do. There are more of us than there are of them. There needs to be a blue wave. Because let's remember, every single Republican in both the House and Senate have not lifted one little finger to stop Trump at all. And it's going to get worse. And from now on, we need to vote unendingly blue.